Hello, wealth builders. Wanted to do a quick video to talk about the importance of knowing your numbers. And I thought it was important to talk about this subject because I was having a conversation with my daughter who recently has started her own business, and she was doing some networking. I was talking to one of her colleagues and they were thinking about partnering up on some things. And one of the questions that she asked the young lady was, what was her peak time? And the response from the young lady was, I don't know. And I expressed to my daughter, I said, man, that's not good. You should know what your peak times are. You know, as an entrepreneur, that's information that's important. You know, our peak times let us know how we need to staff in order to handle a crowd or to handle the busy time in our business. And so that's something that you need to know. What is your peak time? It's important that you know your numbers because your numbers talk. And just because you're busy, that does not necessarily mean that your business is growing. Busyness can actually be a manifestation of you not having the proper processes in place. You also can have some inefficiencies based on your expenses. Maybe you need to look at your expenses and see where you can make some reductions that can increase your profitability. But all of these things, you can only make changes if you're looking at your numbers. You have to have a good financial record keeping system in place. And you have to look at those numbers on the regular basis. And I know as entrepreneurs, we're wearing a lot of hats. We are busy, but you have to take the time for that. And what I would say is that when you look at your schedule and you see that maybe you don't have time to look at the numbers in that manner, you may want to consider hiring someone to help you in that area. And when you hire someone, then you guys can set aside one day out the month to discuss the numbers. The bookkeeper or the accountant can go over with you what the numbers mean and perhaps where you can find some efficiencies, perhaps where you need to spend more of your marketing dollars because certain segments of your business are more profitable. Your numbers tell you all of those things. You know, I was recently working with a client who was behind on their tax returns for 3 years. And the reason why they were behind is because they didn't have their records together that they would be able to give it to their accountant to do their taxes. So they finally bit the bullet and they decided to go ahead and get them done. And basically what they did is I got a box of materials where I had to go through and basically add up their receipts and put everything together for them, which can be inexpensive. That's another reason why you want to have a system in place, because it saves you money. Because if someone else has to do this for you, it's going to be expensive. But at any rate, as I was going through and I was preparing the taxes, what I was noticing that while it was a profitable company, he was making the same amount of money year after year. There was no growth. Now, from his perspective, he was very busy, but what he didn't realize is that he was making the same thing. And what I also noticed is his expenses were increasing. And what I saw was the increase in expenses wasn't matching what he was charging for his services. And so if you're not paying attention to your numbers, you'll miss things like that. You know, we're in this unique time now during this season dealing with the COVID pandemic. And a lot of people were not able to get funding simply because they could not produce a profit and loss statement because they were not managing their financial records. The main documentation, if you were applying for the paycheck protection loan, if you were applying for the EIDL, they wanted to see your profit and loss statement. Many people could not produce that. And so the people who were able to quickly call their bookkeeper and say, hey, I need my P&L, those were the people that were able to immediately get the funding. And so these are things that you want to keep in mind, that how important it is to know your numbers. And so I want to leave you with this tip. The importance of having a good record keeping system, knowing what's coming in, what's going out, what segments of your business are most profitable, what are your peak times. Those are things that you have to know. And then also, you have to look at the numbers. When you have the system in place, you have to look at them because your numbers talk. So I hope these tips helped you today. If you need any help putting your financial records together, please feel free to reach out to DNA Financial Services. You can reach me at Facebook at DNA Financial Services, or my YouTube channel, debtnotallowed.com. Or you can call me directly at 248-805-2218. At DNA Financial Services, we help you keep more of the money you make. And remember, debt is not in your DNA. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.